My name is Robert and I have ADV. I'm recording this video to be open about my condition, which infects more and more people every year and affects families, workplaces and everyday life with symptoms like focusing problems, domestic money laundering, and just odd behavior that seems weird to the normal person. The risk of developing ADV, or adventure deficiency virus, is highest among men between 40 and 60, but is affecting all ages and sexes. If you suspect a partner or a loved one has developed ADV, here's a list of signs in everyday life that you can look for. The first sign of a person suffering from ADV is the inability to use infrastructure the way it was intended. They cannot turn down a water crossing even if the bridge is fully functional. A person with ADV also never misses a puddle. They actively adjust their line to make the biggest splash possible. And this means you can find traces of this behavior at home or in public spaces. At a social gathering, a person with ADV will meet and greet politely when arriving. This is trained behavior, but after listening to stories about resort vacations and career bragging, the ADV person will end up in one of two situations. They are either sitting alone in a chair all night, perhaps with a beer, not socializing with anyone. And that's because there are no other bikers at the party. But still they're okay with this because in their mind, they are somewhere else. Or in the other scenario, the ADV person is completely immersed in the conversation with someone, ignoring the company that they arrived with, talking to the same person all night. And that's because there was another person with ADV at the party. If you're ignorant about the ADV condition, some behavior may seem strange to you. For instance, they may go silent over dinner. And when asked, they often say, "I was listening." They were not. In their mind, they were rebuilding their suspension setup, planning a route, or remembering a ride they did 10 years ago. You may also find stickers placed on random objects around the house, and while this may seem innocent, it's part of a bigger problem that I will come back to in this video. And if you're going on a weekend trip together, there may be some new behavior to look out for. For instance, your toothbrush may be cut in half to save space and weight, and the luggage may have become extremely optimized and multi-purpose and with a first aid kit. And phrases like "light is right" are common symptoms. You may also find the subject moving around luggage closer to the center of gravity in the vehicle and often checking the sag and suspension for optimal handling. People with ADV develop advanced skills in financial disappearance. But large sums of money rarely disappear at once. That would be suspicious. Instead, they use microtransactions over long periods of time. Remember the stickers that I talked about? They may seem harmless and cheap. They are actually free, but you need to know where they come from. When you order expensive riding gears or parts, these stickers come in the box when you receive your items, or if you attend really big, cool events. So when you see these stickers, you need to know that serious amounts of money has left the household. And these are some of the techniques that they use. ADV money relies heavily on mislabeling. Some common categories are maintenance, replacements, safety, and tools. These words are technically correct and therefore impossible to argue with. Another common technique is time separation, which means the purchase is made months before the item appears in the household. And when questioned, the ADV person says, "Oh, I had that for ages now." And that's said most often with confidence and not rarely actually believed by the ADV person themselves. Then we have cash flow camouflage. The ADV sufferer usually synchronizes the purchases with tax returns, overtime pay, the selling of unrelated items, which creates the illusion that no household money was involved. Technically, that's true. And then we have digital symptoms. ADV often comes with a compulsory digital behavior, which means they may be studying weather maps for remote locations or zooming in on maps for an unreasonable amount of time. They may be sending motorcycle-related reels to everyone in their friends list or saving GPX files just in case. And of course they say, I'm just looking, I'm not going there. And they're lying. There's no known cure for ADV. The symptoms seem to increase with age, especially after turning 40. But the condition is not dangerous. In fact, people diagnosed with ADV often report increased happiness, better mental health, a strong sense of freedom, and a strange ability to tolerate discomfort with a smile. If you think you're affected, don't worry, you're not alone. And once diagnosed with ADV, your life may never be normal again. But it will be better. If you want to contribute and help the treatment of ADV, I have placed a subscribe and a like button below this video. Thank you for your contribution. And if you're already diagnosed with ADV, you need to know this is a safe space. We need to talk about it. So leave a comment down below about which stage you're in and any other symptoms that you might have.
Subscribing to this channel is an experimental treatment for acute ADV and does not guarantee a cure. Common side effects may include chronic wanderlust, phantom clutch hand while driving cars, severe bank account depletion, and the uncontrollable urge to stand up while typing at your desk. Patients may experience sudden drops in career ambition and an increased tolerance for sleeping in the dirt. Robert Baldinger is not liable for marital disputes arising from essential gear upgrades or quick detours that last 3 weeks. Do not subscribe if you are allergic to freedom, dust, or questionable life choices. If you find yourself browsing Marketplace for used bikes at 3 a.m., the treatment is working. Ask your mechanic if ignoring your responsibilities is right for you.